Now, in this first part, I'd like to ask you some questions about yourself.
Mm.
So let's talk about where you live in your country. What kind of town or city do you live in?
I'm now living in Chongli, which my university is in Chongli, so I live in Chongli right now. And this city is kind of small because that district is not very big, and but it's very convenient for me to like travel to some place I want to go. Yeah.
How long have you lived there?
Because I just come back to Taiwan for my university so I just have living there at 1 year.
What do you enjoy most about living there?
I think that is a small place, so it's very convenient for me to get the department store or some convenience store, and so I think it's very convenient.
Let's talk about rain. Do you like it when it rains?
No, because I think rainy day is very ignoring, because I have to take the umbrella because it's rain, so it can like prevent myself of getting wet. But I have to like holding the umbrella with my one hand, but I don't have because sometimes I have to carry like heavy items, so I don't have like both hands to carry that items. So I think that is very like annoying.
Does it rain much where you live?
I think yes, because Taiwan is the place that almost rain, I think, and I think that wet condition is very let me very uncomfortable.
Has it ever rained when you were outside without a raincoat or an umbrella?
Yes, because yesterday, yeah. There's a sudden thunder and a heavy rain, and I didn't get my umbrella, so I get wet. So I think that is terrible.
Do you think rain affects the way people behave?
I don't think so. Because I think what people behave may depends on their self, but not really depends on weather.
Let's talk about your time in high school. Did you generally enjoy being in high school?
I think not really, because in high school there are a lot of limitation and regulation, and I have to follow. But in university, I have more free time to do the things that I want, some extracurricular, and also I can have a part-time job and so on.
Which teacher was the most important to you?
The most important teacher for me is the chemistry teacher in my high school, because she is very close to me, and because we know very close each other, and so she always told me some positive advice and suggestion that for my lifetime. It's not only just the academic suggestion, but also a life suggestion. Yeah.
Now, in this next part, I'm going to give you a topic, and I'd like you to talk about it for 1 to 2 minutes. And before you talk, you'll have 1 minute to think about what you're going to say, and you can also make some notes if you wish. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's a paper and pencil for making notes. And here is your topic. I'd like you to describe the kind of furniture you have in your home. Alright, now remember you have 1 to 2 minutes for this, so don't worry if I stop you, I'll tell you when the time is up. Can you start speaking now, please?
There's a furniture which is a wooden table, and it's in my grandparents' home. And this table is in the dining room, and we also having some meals together on that table. And it's it looks like a traditional wooden table, and I think that table is chosen by my grandparents because it's in my grandparents' house. And I think that this wooden table is very special because we always have some meals together on that table. And because I'm the person who our family is living Shanghai for over 10 years. So, and all my cousin is overseas. So when the summer vacation, we all the cousin and our family will come back to my grandparents' house, and we also have some meals together. So I think that table is kind of a spirit of reunion, and so I think that table is very very important for our family, and it's like a symbol to for our family to have a nice meal together. And so that table, which I think is very special for me. Yeah.
Thank you. Can I please have the paper and pencil and the booklet back?
Yep.
Thank you. Now we've been talking about the kind of furniture you have in your home, and I'd like to discuss with you 1 or 2 more general issues related to this.
Okay.
So let's consider first of all buying furniture. At what times in people's lives do they need to buy furniture?
I think they will buy the furniture at they will having a new house, and they will transfer to that house, and they need the new furnitures, so they will go to buy some new. And it's like a simulation about the new life period, I think. So they will like to buy new furniture.
Is that the only time people buy new furniture in their lives?
Maybe not, but I think that is the main reason. And another reason I think is they will their furniture is broken or need to repair, but it's still cannot be fixed. So they will go to the shops or department store or some chain store to buy the new furniture.
Who usually makes the decision about which furniture to buy in Taiwan?
I think the decision is made by parents. I think in Taiwan most of the condition is made by the father, because I think the male in Taiwan culture is more important to make the decision.
When people do buy furniture, what kinds of things do they need to think about? What do they need to consider?
I think the first thing is the price. I think that is very important for people to consider that furniture. And the second thing is how great, how well is the furniture, how easy and what is the function of it. And maybe some furniture table, some table are can adjust the height, but some cannot. But so they have a great function of the furniture, I think is the second important things that people consider. Yeah.
Let's move on to style and fashion in the home. Why do some people think that style and the decorations that they use in their home is very important?
I think that some people think the decoration of their home they will like affect people's mood, because like if the house decoration is like simple, and people will like he or she may like live in a lifestyle that is very simple and not very messy, and some like the well decorated home, they may like live, they will like affect their mood about like being very like fashion people, and also like it affect their lifestyle, I think.
What influences the kind of styles and fashions that people have in their home?
Can you say again?
Sure. Which influences change fashion in the home, or styles in the home? If you think about the past, maybe the styles people preferred were different from what they prefer now. So what changes those styles?
I think for like the modern day, the people more think about the function and the realistic parts, because I think that in the past people like more think about the like decoration is very fancy or not, but I think that in the nowadays people are more think about like simple and the function of the furniture and the decoration of the house.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. That's the end of the speaking test. Okay, here is a full test. Overall score of 5. Part 1 covers the topics of rain and high school. Part 2 and 3 about furniture. Let's have a listen to the response. Now, in this first part, I'd like to ask you some questions about yourself. So let's talk about where you live in your country. What kind of town or city do you live in?
I'm now living in Chongli.
Okay, so here we see a main verb with a be verb. It's not a good start. It's a pretty basic grammatical error.
Which my university is in Chongli, so I live in.
Okay, which my university is in. So if you have a which, you don't need to repeat the noun. Remember, the which means the noun. The which refers to Zhongli. So you don't have to say Zhongli at the end again. So I live in Zhongli. So he's repeating the same thing.
So I live in Chongli right now. And this city is kind of small because that district is not very big. And
district, that's not a bad word to use. Zhongli is a district of Taoyuan City. Not sure why it says bigs.
But it's very convenient for me to like travel to some place I want to go. Yeah.
How long have you lived there?
Because I just come back to Taiwan for.
Here you should have used the past tense. I just came back.
My university.
For university, there's no my.
So I just have living there.
I have just been living there. I have just been living there for 1 year. Lots of mistakes.
1 year.
What do you enjoy most about living there?
I think that is a small place, so it's very convenient for me to to get the department store.
Okay, we see some hesitation here, like the department store. To get, why is it get? It's go to, and it's not it's just department stores or some convenience stores.
Or some convenience store, and so I think it's very convenient.
It's convenient, so I think it's convenient. That's why he's getting a 5 for coherence. Let's talk about rain. Do you like it when it rains?
No, because
at least this is very clear.
I think rainy days very
Rainy days are very
ignoring.
Ignoring is surely not the right word he wants to say. Maybe boring, but he said ignoring.
Because I have to take the umbrella.
I have to take an umbrella because it rains.
Because it's rain, so it can prevent myself of getting wet.
I can keep myself from getting wet.
But I have to holding the.
And notice that he's talking quite mechanically. It's like none of the words flow into each other.
Umbrella with my one hand, but I don't have because sometimes I have to carry heavy items.
And he puts an S at the end of adjectives, like heavies. And what was the other one? He said bigs. He said bigs. Now he said heavies.
I don't have both hand to.
But when he should add an S, he doesn't. He said both hand. Okay, so vocabulary also riddled with errors.
To carry that items, so I think that
those items.
It's very annoying.
And notice how often he uses the word like. That is very annoying. Does it rain much where you live?
I think yes, because Taiwan is the place that
Taiwan is a place.
Almost rain.
Now, he, like a lot of Chinese-speaking people, use the word almost incorrectly. If something almost happens, it means it doesn't happen, but it's close to happening. I think what he wants to say is Taiwan is a place where it almost always rains. Almost always rains.
And I think that wet conditions
are, I mean, the idea of using wet condition, good vocabulary, but it should be in the plural. Wet conditions are very
left me very uncomfortable.
Wet conditions are very uncomfortable.
Has it ever rained when you were outside without a raincoat or an umbrella?
Yes, because
again with the like.
Yesterday, I think.
First time we saw intonation, because he's not sure. Like yesterday, notice the rising intonation there. First time I noticed that.
Yesterday, yeah.
There was
sudden thunder and heavy rain.
Okay, sudden thunder. Those two words go together well. Good vocabulary there. Heavy rain also. A lot of Chinese speakers say heavy rain instead of what am I saying? A lot of Chinese speakers say big rain instead of heavy rain.
I didn't get my umbrella, so I get wet.
I got completely. Well, usually we wouldn't say wet. The verb we would use is drenched. The participle, I got completely drenched, not whole wet, completely drenched.
So I think that is terrible.
Again, it's not using the past tense. That was terrible.
Do you think rain affects the way people behave?
I don't think so.
Again, some intonation here. I don't think so. So he just seems to use intonation when he's uncertain about what he's saying. Then we see this rising intonation.
because I think like what people behave.
What did he say here? I think like people, how people behave. How people behave.
What people behave may like
Again with the like.
depends on their self.
Themselves. How people behave might depend on themselves. I think it means like their personality, their own personality.
Not, but it really depends on like weathers.
The weather, not weathers. I do like his idea. So how people behave doesn't depend on the weather, it depends on their personality. Now, he doesn't really give us examples of what kind of personality will make people behave in a certain way. Maybe you could have done that. Like if people have a happy or sunny personality, they act in a certain way. Could have done that.
Let's talk about your time in high school. Did you generally enjoy being at high school?
Oh, hang on a second here.
School?
Come on now.
Being at high school?
I think not really, because in high school there are a lot of like limitation and like regulation and
Limitation, like recreation. One of these words is not correct. Because recreation is not a form of limitation.
I have to follow. But in in university, like I have more like free time to do the things that I want, like some extracurricular.
Now, extracurricular is a good word to use, but remember it is an adjective, so we do need a noun. Usually extracurricular goes with the noun activities. So some extracurricular activities.
And also I can like have a part-time job
You can have a part-time job.
and so on.
Again, if you say and so on, the examiner can't guess what you're trying to say. So why not just say it? Okay, so there are two benefits of being in university. One is you have more freedom, fewer limitations. I'm not sure about the recreation. I don't know. Oh, now I think I understand what he's saying. Okay, so in high school, there are limitations on what you can do in your free time. Maybe that's what he wanted to say. There are limitations on what you can do in your free time. And you have to follow, but you can't follow a limitation. You can abide by the limitation, but here follow is not the right verb. Abide by is maybe better. But anyway, so the two ideas are in school, there are a lot more, or in high school rather, there are a lot more rules that affect what you can do during your free time. And also you can't have a part-time job. But I don't know, don't people in high school have part-time jobs? Not important. We just focus on the language now. But if this was part 3, maybe the examiner will ask you about that.
Which teacher was the most important to you?
Whoa, what's happening here?
Which teacher was the most important?
Yeah, that's teacher, not teachers. It'd be weird if it was teacher was. Then let's try this again.
Which teacher was the most important to you?
The most important teacher is
Tense is wrong again. Was.
for me is the chemistry teacher.
And also the word order here is wrong. The most important teacher for me was my chemistry teacher.
The chemistry teacher in my
What does his voice go up on chemistry teacher? Is he not sure if it's a chemistry teacher or not?
school, because she's very is very close to me, and because we know very close each other, and so she always told.
Okay, so here the words that he uses are actually a little bit confusing. That's why it's a 5 for vocabulary. Because we know very close each other. Because we knew, okay, this is grammar also, because we knew each other very closely. Know is a verb, so we can't use an adjective. We knew each other very closely.
Need some positive.
There's something else I wanted to say here. What did I want to say? She told me some advice. You can't tell somebody advice. The verb for advice is give. She gave me some positive advice. Positive advice, actually, good vocabulary, but it's not told, it's give.
Positive advice and suggestion.
Suggestions.
That for my lifetime.
For my life. She gave me some suggestions for my life.
It's not only just the academic suggestion, but also
suggestion. Why does his voice rise on suggestion?
For the life suggestion.
Well, he just said it, so he's repeating that now. Again, 5. That's why it's a 5 for coherence, because he's repeating what he said before.
Yeah.
Now, in this next part, I'm going to give you a topic, and I'd like you to talk about it for 1 to 2 minutes. And before you talk, you'll have 1 minute to think about what you're going to say, and you can also make some notes if you wish. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's a paper and pencil for making notes, and here.
For making those, good grief. Let's fix that.
Okay, so here's a paper and pencil for making notes, and here is your topic. I'd like you to describe the kind of furniture you have in your home. Alright, now remember you have 1 to 2 minutes for this. So don't worry if I stop you, I'll tell you when the time is up. Can you start speaking now, please?
There's furniture.
Furniture is not countable, so there's no article. So there's a piece of furniture. The measure word for furniture is piece. There's a piece of furniture.
Which is a wooden table.
Good adjective. Again, I don't know why his voice wants to go up here on table. His intonation appears in the strangest of places.
And it's in my grandparents' home. And
again with the like. It's like my grandparents' home. Why so many likes? Overuse of discourse markers. That's one of the reasons he got a 5 for fluency.
And this table is in the dining room.
In the dining room? Why does his voice go up there?
And we also having some meals together on.
Here, I don't know if he's using like as a verb. Maybe he's using like as a verb here. So we also like having some meals. So I think here actually the grammar is okay.
Some meals together on that table.
But people don't have meals on a table. People have meals at a table. At the table.
And it's it looks like a traditional wooden
traditional
table, and I think that table.
Notice how many times he says and also.
Is chosen by my grandparents.
Was chosen. Okay, here he's using the passive and he's almost getting it right, but the tense is wrong. That table was chosen by my grandparents.
Because it's in my grandparents' house. And I think that this wooden table is very special because
I think you wanted to say special. This is X special.
We always have some meals together on that table.
Didn't he just say this? And again, it's not on the table, it's at the table. And here we have and again.
And because I'm the person who.
Okay, here we see a relative pronoun. Let's see what's going to happen next.
Our family is.
I'm the kind of person who our family is living. See that? This kind of mistake makes it difficult to understand what he's trying to say. Making mistakes is not the end of the world, as long as the examiner can still understand what you're saying. But if you say, I'm the person who our family is living, then it's difficult to know what you're saying.
Our family is living Shanghai for over 10 years. So,
So and.
My cousin is like over.
All my cousins are, and here we have like again. The likes are really distracting.
So when the summer vacation.
No, wait a second. That's not those.
So when the summer.
Yeah, you just said the. You didn't say those. So when it's summer vacation. So when it's summer vacation.
Oh, my cousin is like overseas. So when the summer vacation, we all the cousin and our family will come back to.
I think he wanted to say go, but he ended up saying come. It should have been we all go. So during the summer vacation, we all go. Here it's okay to use the present tense because he's talking about a habit. But it's not come because you're not at the house right now, so it's go.
My grandparents' house, and
Again with the end.
we also like have some like meals.
Like. We also have some like meals.
Together. So I think that table is kind of like a spirit of reunion.
This is pretty good. The spirit of reunion. I do like that. But maybe it represents, not is. So that table, that table represents a spirit of reunion. Maybe you should have said that. Here's and again.
And so I think that table is very like very important for our like family.
Good grief. I wish I had a counter of how many times he says like.
And it's like a symbol to for our family to have a nice meal.
And here he's starting to speak more slowly. Much more hesitant.
For our family to have a nice meal together. And so
I'm guessing here he's running out of things to say.
that table, which I think is very
Yeah, he's just saying the same thing again and again. Important?
very
Special.
special for me. Yeah.
Thank you. Can I please have the paper and pencil and the booklet back? Thank you. Now we've been talking about the kind of furniture you have in your home, and I'd like to discuss with you one or two more general issues related to this.
Okay.
So let's consider first of all buying furniture. At what times in people's lives do they need to buy furniture?
I think they will buy the furniture at.
There's no the. We're talking about furniture in general. I think they will buy the furniture at. They will like having a. If I just look at this, it's very hard to understand what he's trying to say.
They will like having a new house.
Okay, so people buy furniture when they buy a new house. They don't just having a new house. What is this having doing here? So people buy furniture when they buy a new home.
Having a new house, and they will like transfer to that house, and
People move into a new house. They don't transfer to the house. Move into.
they need the new furnitures.
Again, there's no the, and again, furniture is not countable, so there's no s.
They will go to buy some new.
And there's no noun here. They'll buy some new, no noun.
And it's like a simulation.
I don't know what he was trying to say here. I think he wanted to say simulation. What's the next word?
About the new lives.
Representation, maybe? It's like a representation of a new life. Getting new furniture is like a representation of having a new life. Not simulation, representation.
About the new life period.
Nope, just life. It's a representation of having a new life.
I think so. They will like to buy new.
See, it's difficult to know when he's using like as a verb. Is this a verb? Because he used like so many times. So they will like to. I guess here it's a verb.
Buy new furniture.
Is that the only time people buy new furniture in their lives?
Maybe not.
Some intonation here.
I think that is the main reason. And another reason
Some stress on another, and another reason. All right. Here the pronunciation is getting a bit better.
is like they will their furniture is broken.
Okay, now hang on a second here. Another reason. Well, it's not a reason. The examiner is not asking for reasons. The examiner is asking for examples of times. So another time is when, well, the furniture breaks. Okay.
They will their furniture is broken or need to like repair by
the furniture is broken beyond repair. Oh, I understand. The furniture is so badly broken it can't be fixed. Okay, so it's broken beyond repair. It needs to be replaced. Broken beyond repair. Beyond repair.
furniture is broken or need to like repair but it's still cannot be fixed.
I don't know what this it is, but let's move on.
So they will like go to the shops or department store or some chain store to buy the new furniture.
Okay, so he knows about shops. He can say department store, he can say chain store, but then he gets this wrong, and he keeps on using the article the incorrectly. But some good pronunciation in this answer.
Who usually makes the decision about which furniture to buy in Taiwan?
I think the decision is made by like parents.
Again, at the end of the sentence, he uses this rising intonation. I don't understand that.
Parents. I think in Taiwan, most of the condition is made by like the father.
And he confuses condition and decision. Most of the decisions, not condition, are made by the father.
The father, because I think the male in Taiwan culture is
Taiwanese culture.
more like important to make the decision.
When people do buy furniture, what kinds of things do they need to think about? What do they need to consider?
I think like the first thing is the price. I think that is very important for people to consider that furniture.
Now that I listen to him, I think maybe a 5 for vocabulary is too high. What is going on here? I think that's very important to afford people to consider that furniture. Well, you can't afford things. I understand that. I think that it's very important for people to be able to afford the furniture. But he says it's very important to afford people. You can't afford people because people are not for sale. It's very important to afford. So afford is not the right word. So what is the word? What is he trying to say here? It's very important to convince people to consider that furniture, or maybe entice people to buy that furniture. It's very important to entice people to consider buying that furniture.
To consider that furniture. And the second thing is like how well is the furniture like.
Adjective, adverb. I think it means the quality of the furniture. The second thing is the quality.
How easy and what is the function of it?
Here is a noun and here is an adverb. How easily what? What is the function of the furniture?
The function of it.
Here the verb is missing, so I don't know what he's trying to say. How easily, don't know. Second one, what the function is. What the function is.
The function of it, and maybe like some furniture like table. Some table are can adjust the height.
But then he uses the word like adjust the height, and then I think maybe a 5 is okay. So for some furniture, you're able to adjust the height of the furniture. Yeah, okay, that's good vocabulary.
But some cannot. But
some cannot be adjusted.
They have a great function of the furniture. I think is the second important things that people consider.
Is the second important thing. Why thing? So the function is the second important thing people consider.
Yeah.
This should be a period. Man, I'm thinking 5 is too high for vocabulary. What's going to happen next?
Let's move on to style and fashion in the home. Why do some people think that style and the decorations that they use in their home is very important?
I think that some people think the decoration of their home, they were like.
I don't know if I should include the O's here. Should I? I think I missed a few.
I think that.
What the hell? Let's put it in here. I think that what's he saying?
I think that some people think the decoration.
The decoration. Nice. It's not that serious, but let's try to keep it accurate. Okay, let's see.
I think that some people think the decoration of their home, they will like affect people's mood.
Well, vocabulary-wise, here we have affect people's mood. Not bad.
Mood, because like if the house decoration is like simple and people.
Why is there an and here?
He or she may like live in the lifestyle that is very simple. And
Lifestyle is not bad. People will live a very simple lifestyle. I think simple a lifestyle that is very simple. Okay, never mind. I just thought about maybe put simple here, but never mind. The way he's using it is okay too.
In the lifestyle that is very simple and not very messy.
Simple and not messy. But messy is not exactly the opposite of simple. So it's a lifestyle that's pretty simple and not extravagant. Maybe that's a better. I don't know if he's trying to use opposites here, but the right word would be maybe extravagant.
And
again with the and.
And some like the well decorated home.
Some like well decorated homes.
They may like live. They will like.
Oh no! Now he's using this again. He had one piece of good vocabulary, and he's used it twice now.
Affect their mood about like being very like fashion people.
No, it's fashionable people. There's no fashion people.
And also like it affect their lifestyle.
Affect their mood, affect their lifestyle. In my mind, I'm thinking, I don't know. Let's go on.
What influences the kind of styles and fashions that people have in their home?
Can you say again?
Can you say it again? It again.
Sure. Which influences change fashion in the home or styles in the home? If you think about the past, maybe the styles people preferred were different from what they prefer now. So what changes those styles?
I think for like the modern day.
Modern day is not bad, but he mispronounced it. But okay, modern day, yeah.
The people more think about the function.
Function's not bad, but he's already used this word.
And the realistic parts.
What does that mean? What is realistic parts? Realistic parts of furniture?
Because I think that in the past, people like more think about the like decoration is very fancy. Or
in the past, people considered whether decoration is fancy or not. People were more concerned about whether decoration was fancy or not.
think about the like decoration is very fancy or not. But I think that in the nowadays.
I think nowadays, there's no in, there's no the. I think that nowadays people think more, not are more think. People think more about.
People are more think about like simple and the function of the furniture and the decoration of the house.
Well, thank you very much. That's the end of the speaking test.
I said 5 before. Now I'm thinking maybe 5-4, 5-5. I don't know. In part 3, there was just so much repetition of the same vocabulary again and again and again. Main reason. I don't know. If this is a 5 for vocabulary, it's a weak 5.